Hey there, it's Mary Lirette, and I'd like to share with you today just a simple activity that you can do with your students in your classroom. These are simple to make. There are not a lot of steps involved. You can make them whole group, small group, or depending on the age level of your students, a lot of them can even do this independently after a couple of practice rounds. So this can be used for a variety of subjects. Different activities can be done with them. You can also use it for assessment purposes. Your students can use them to show what they know. The paper bag booklets only involve 3 items, which is nice. The first is a paper lunch sack. I like to use the small brown paper bags. I've just found that they're easier for little hands to manipulate. You certainly can use the larger grocery bags too if you'd like, but I usually just stick to the small ones. You can find them pretty much anywhere these days. Grocery stores, Target, Dollar Store has them. You can usually get them in bulk. They're very inexpensive, and hopefully you can get a volunteer, a parent maybe, to donate some to your classroom for you to use. You will also need a chenille stick, pipe cleaner, depending on which way you prefer to label them as, and also a single hole punch. The first thing you're going to do is make sure that you position the bag correctly. You want the flap to be facing you, facing upwards at the top. So the open end of the bag is going to be actually on the bottom. You really want to make sure that you start out correctly like this with your children, because it'll make it easier when we fold it and make it into a little bag in the next step. So I like to take my finger and have my children put their fingers underneath the flap as well, just so I can kind of walk around and make sure that everyone has their bag positioned properly. So once you have your bag laid out, you will take the bottom part, the open end of the bag, and you will push it upward underneath that flap. It'll kind of be like a backpack where you've got the flap fold down on top. So you want to push the bottom part all the way up as far as it will go so that it's parallel to the fold underneath the flap. There again, you can see I just kind of have pushed my finger up just to make sure that I went all the way. It'll change the size of your student's book if it's not pushed all the way to the top. It really won't matter in the grand scheme of things, but just, once they get it, they'll start being a little straighter and looking a little neater. Once you've done that, you can just take your finger across the bottom to just kind of make that crease a little more crisp to make your bag look a little bit nicer. And then you are ready for the hole punch. You'll take your hole punch and you will punch one hole at the top that's on the flat part. It doesn't matter if you start on the left side or the right side. It's just kind of your preference, your student's preference. But I usually tell my kids just to kind of scoot in maybe 2 inches, just so they're not in the middle of it, but they're just kind of a little bit towards the side with their hole punching. Just punch one hole on the left, and then you can move over and you can punch a hole on the right or to the opposite side. About the same width apart. It doesn't matter how close or how far apart really they are. So don't stress if your holes are too close together or are too far apart. It won't matter. Once you've got your holes made, you are ready for the last part, which is the chenille stick. You can just push your chenille stick in the first hole. It doesn't matter if you push it from the top down or the down up. Either way works. Just push it in a little bit, and then you can twist the chenille stick so that it looks just like one piece. Just twist it around a couple times to make it nice and neat and make sure the pointy end isn't sticking out. And then you're going to repeat that on the opposite side. Again, it doesn't matter which side you do first. You just want to make sure that you pull the chenille stick through as far as you would like, just so that you are happy with the shape of your handle for your bag. You can pull it more. I have just a little bit, but you can pull it even more if you would like for your handle to be shorter. It doesn't matter. Alright, so just like we did with the first side, we are just going to twist a little bit to make that one complete handle, like you see in this picture. And then once you're finished twisting, it should look like a bag where the flap kind of opens up and you've got a what my kids like to call a secret spot in the middle that you can use for many different activities. One thing that I like to do with my kids is ones that I create ahead of time, I like to kind of make it a secret game where they guess what we're going to be doing inside the bag today. There might be a letter sort or a bubble map or um, decomposing numbers, just that you could do it pretty much with anything. So you can surprise them like that, or you can kind of leave it open-ended and have them do a specific activity or come up with one on their own. One thing that I like to do with mine is we play a word family game where we make a T-chart. We do a lot of T-charts in my class, so my kids are very familiar with that. And then we take word families, as you can see in this one, we're doing short A, so word families, and a partner can give a word, say for example, sat, and then their friend has to determine whether that belongs on the AT side or the AP side and record the word. So just a little fun reinforcement activity there. Again, you can do this with anything. It doesn't have to be literacy. It could be math. It could be number bonds with math or math facts, or you could even do this with science. I mean, you could write down characteristics of plants or animals, living, non-living things. Really, the possibilities are endless with this. So just a fun thing you can do with your class. Again, it's simple, doesn't involve a whole lot of steps. They're cheap and they're very fun to make. So hopefully this will be something you can use in your class just to either reinforce an activity or to spruce up your lesson a little bit. All right, thanks so much.